Hi everyone, so today I have this stamp and die set that Die Press has brought to HSN ahead of the August 13th craft day. It is the Beautiful Day stamp and die set. So they did send this item free of charge from review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you for using those if you would like to. Again, in the description box, possibly within the video, like embedded here, there's like a little something you can click on. It just depends on how you're watching, or the word shop down here will get you all those links. So, just a really sweet set. It does come with 2 of your sticky sheets, the instruction on those, and the applicator. And then it comes with a refill cutting folder for your marquee, but if you don't have a marquee, you can run these thin metal dies through any machine that cuts thin metal dies. And then we have our stamps and our dies. So let's look at the inspo and see what we're looking at, and then we'll kind of take a better look at these guys. So you can see, very floral, beautiful day. Great for any occasion, any time of the year. All these beautiful flowers, they have their die with them. I love that it's very close like to the little sprig look, so it's more delicate. You have like this little flower with a leaf. You have this kind of like poppy looking flower. This gorgeous one looking more like a kind of like magnolia bloom. Some little like some more smaller ones that are like more like sprigs, or like they're just growing out of the ground, or however. And so the idea here with these circles is that you make your own little, like, so the idea here is that you make your own like little windows wherever you want to put them, right? So then you can have your flowers there, or you can use the, what's cut out from the circles, put it behind the flower, however you want to play with these things. So that's one of the options there. The other option, die cut the flower in sentiment, stamp out using circle dies, and then you can play with those that way. Or any combination, right? So that's really, really cool. So wishing you a beautiful day. Think of this as a hug. Wishing, well, we read that one. Enjoy your special day. Beyond happy for you. Sending good thoughts, things like this. Thanks for being there when I needed you the most. Really, really sweet. I like the look of this one. That's really fun. And then just maybe a slimline idea. So you have your dies here. I'll give you a measurement of this guy. Oh, it's big. Look at this. That is the largest one. It is just over 4.5 inches, and maybe 2.5 inches wide. That is really nice. And then this guy, again, the one that looked like a poppy, in my opinion. Really nice size there, like 3.25-ish. So you can tell that these are about similar. And then the little guys aren't even that little; they're good size. And then the circles, what's really cool is they have the stitching line. So the stitching line will be on your card base, or whatever it is that you want to leave behind if you're doing the windows look. And otherwise, it's going to cut you different circles, starting with a little guy. That the circle itself is like 5/8 of an inch circle, and then of course that would leave the aperture. And then the largest one cuts a 2.25 inch-ish circle, and then the stitching that leaves behind for this guy. So let me grab card base, some cardstock, whatever else I need. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we are going to make my card base A2 size. So this is 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And you can easily make this into a shaker, but I think I'm just going to make it like a framed out card, just something different. But you can just put some dimensional adhesive under the topper and make a shaker. But at 4.25, we'll go ahead and score that. And then, give me a good score. Sorry. What is on this? Opening packages with this gets that adhesive all over it. Okay, and then I'm going to do a topper with this paper. Hopefully I have enough of it to do 4 1/8. I like this pink. Doesn't work out, I'll go get another something from my stash. By 5 3/8, because that's what I like for toppers or matte layers. Do whatever it is that you like for yours. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is one little like frame. And I wanted to see about this guy, that really tall kind of climbing image. So if I had a little circle there, put this guy like here. Yeah, okay. And so if you can imagine if that was there. And then this guy's going to kind of come in here or so. Again, I can cut that off, so it's not a big deal. Or we move this over to accommodate for this guy. Where would I put him? Like there? Okay. So like right here, and then I'll just kind of mess with that piece to fit the way I want it. Put my tape towards the inside because I know I'm going to cut that away anyway. And I just completely eyeballed that. So I'm going to run this through. I'm also going to cut another piece of cardstock in a cream color that is the same, just a little bit smaller than 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, okay? But I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have this guy. Cute. I'm gonna have that peeking out right behind it, and I did make it the same size. You don't have to, I mean you can just layer it, or you don't have to do that at all. And that's gonna go in here. It's just so that this is a different color from my card base. And let's see. It's the perfect day to celebrate you. Enjoy your special day. Think of this as a hug. I like that. So let's go ahead and do that one. And I'm just going to go for it, and if I don't get it quite right, I'll just turn it over and do it again. So I'm just going to take this. And you can definitely put that on a stamp positioner, but I'm just going to, like I said, go for it. Holding my breath. I wasn't saying much, sorry guys. Just making sure it's making contact everywhere. Look at that, and look how crisp and nice that is. Again, acrylic stamps, that's what Die Press works with, and they work really great. Okay, let me clean up just a little bit. I'm actually going to go ahead and glue these guys together, because why not, and glue it to the top of my card. Again, if you wanted to make this into a shaker, just line this with some acetate and use a dimensional adhesive. So the piece of paper underneath here, I made it a little bit smaller all around so that I'm not fighting with it and it's not peeking out where I don't want it to be. And I'm going to glue this down too, but you can definitely pop that up if you wanted on some dimensionals. I think it's going to be a quick card, guys. Alright, I'm going to hold that down. And I'm going to grab some alcohol ink marker paper and a hybrid ink, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Beautiful, simple card base there. Take this. And again, this is paper that you can color on using alcohol ink markers. Basically, if you just use any kind of paper, it's going to feather, it's going to even tear a hole. It's just really bad. So you definitely need to use paper that's made for this. And you know what? Having said that, the paper that's made for this most of the time runs a little bit more money, so I'm going to put that here to save that. And you can definitely use a water-based dye ink. You can use a hybrid ink to do your stamping if you're going to use alcohol ink markers, so whatever's you like, just use that. I'm just going to grab this since it's here. I will say hybrid inks, and maybe that's just my experience, are drier, aren't they? They feel like dry. So a lot of times you do have to stamp a couple times. And I've used, you know me, plenty of different companies' hybrid ink, and they all seem to have that same kind of dryness. That's really good, having said what I just said, right? But just gonna give it one more. And there. Okay, and we are going to let this dry, especially if you're using a hybrid ink. You absolutely need to let it dry before you go in with your alcohol ink markers. So I am just going to clean up and grab some markers, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So for this one, it's kind of, I would say iris. What's the daylily? That's the one I was looking for. You know, a lot of times they're yellow in these different colors. Oh, I didn't grab any yellow for like the center. Let me see if I have one easy to access here. I do not. Maybe this one. Yay! Okay. So I'm not going to do a ton of color, but I do have this coral color. I just got dark and light, and then just one of the greens. So, I mean, you can definitely select a couple different greens, but I figured I'm not going to do too much with it. So just a little bit of coloring, and then if you want to come back through and add a little bit of a darker tone with the same marker, you can just come back in and add more color. So I would do like the whole thing. Maybe the branch should be brown, whatever it is you want. Branch, stem. You can just come back in and add just a little more color, and it definitely will give you the look of having added more color, right? A little shadow, see, or depth. So sometimes we don't always want to pull out all the medium, light, and dark and all that, right? I know, you know, in my garden these guys are blooming. No, not blooming quite yet, which I think is kind of late. But they have like that papery kind of look here that ends up a little bit lighter color. Anyway, I'll just go up the whole stem with that. With, you know, this, my coral dark. Just kind of come in here and just add a little bit of the darker color in the very center. And then I just went to light and would pull that color through. And you can go all the way to the tip of your flowers or just kind of let it fade away. Whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever your style. Alright, you can leave it something like that, or you can go ahead and just bring it and blend it through. The reason I did it in 2 steps is because my light then becomes a medium shade also, because I only went over that area once, right? So wherever you went over it twice, it's going to be a little deeper than just this. And you start wherever you have that dark color to pull it out, you know, to blend the color. Okay, so something like that. And then I'll just do a little yellow in here. It's very light, so I'll probably do it a couple times so it's more noticeable. And that's it, guys, so I'll be back. Okay guys, so what I was showing you there at the very end is like, once I start doing a lot of the, you know, darker color and then go over the light again and then do the whole blending, and I just did it all at once, you know. So let's see if we can see right through this. I mean, there are a lot of gaps and things that make it very easy to see what you're cutting, especially this, you know, with the vining and everything. You really want to know where you're cutting. So I am going to... Oh man, famous last words. I was saying I'm going to go for it, but then I'm like, you shouldn't just go for it. I feel like I need to do a drop shadow. So let's do a drop shadow in like a gold, which I would love to do anyway. So, ooh, I don't know if this piece is big enough. Oh my gosh, it's just big enough. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my guide here. Aperture, I don't know what I've been calling it. Maybe cut from here. And I'm just going to trim this down just to have a little less of this in the way. You know, the whole thing with this kit is to make all the different little apertures, so, you know, definitely go wild with that. I just did the one right down in the center, but you can do all kinds of fun things. And let me bring this back up so we're not so claustrophobic here. Sorry, I had to kind of clear my throat. Yeah, so we'll have this guy. How pretty. Oh my gosh. Look at even the embossed edge it left. Gorgeous. Okay, so that is pretty, but it's also a tool. Let me cut this down. Not too bad. You're supposed to color so well that the saturation, like, that this paper is so saturated that the color comes to the back side of this. If this was regular paper, it would have been a feathery mess if you had this much ink in it. So you definitely want to use your alcohol ink papers for that. So let me pick this up. Again, we're not detaching it, you're just hinging it open so you can see. And, you know, maybe I could have got it, but it's much better when you have a little guiding window. You can see exactly where you're going to be cutting. Pop it back down, make sure this thing pops right back in place, and give yourself a good amount of stick down so it doesn't move, especially when you go to place it. And run it through. I'm still kind of holding it with my own hands, kind of pinching that. I'm still holding it, sorry, I'm back here, I know, but I'm still holding it so that We get the best die cut there. And hopefully that worked out. We will see. Again, I do tape it so it's holding the project, but also holding the project's paper and, you know, the aperture and everything. So it ends up sticking pretty good. Oh, there we go. Not bad, not bad at all. Okay, I'll go back. So let's bring this and this over. And I'm going to drop shadow it like something like that, but I don't know if I'm going to drop shadow it that way or this way. Again, I was going to cut a piece of this off. So let me kind of play with this and see where I would want this to be, and I'll be right back. I think this might be a little crazy, but I'm going to let it hang off the side, you guys. I don't have the heart to cut it. You can definitely put it there and then just cut it off. You know, you could position it this way. Of course, I chose where that hole is going to be. But if you want to do it this way, it actually accommodates that really well if you want it to be landscape mode. But I think I'm going to let that hang off there. That looks too pretty. So, yeah. Also, I just don't want it blocking my wording. So I am going to glue these two together, and I think I'm just going to glue them down flat, guys. Dimensionals would be really great, but since it's already hanging off the side, I figure, you know, I can just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to glue those together. It is a very slippery surface, the gold paper, so it's going to take a moment to really set up. But I'll try to just do it all at once so I can get that down and then stick this down. So I'm going to leave that not glued over here because it's not going to be touching anything. So I'm not going to put any glue on this edge here. And I'm just going to pop this guy like right there, maybe? There. Maybe a little more in this way. Okay, I'm going to hold that down and I'll be right back. Okay guys, well there is just a simple, sweet card. Again, you can play with those circles wherever it is you want to put them. I think that's really lovely. You can emboss this. I just left it so you can really see that stitching. Very lovely. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have images come up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.